Why most people never find happiness and how you can. Happiness is perhaps the most sought-after goal in human history. Philosophers, scientists, and spiritual leaders have all dedicated lifetimes to understanding what it means to be happy and how to attain it. Yet for many people, happiness remains elusive. It's a distant dream, a vague feeling we chase but never seem to fully capture. Why is it that most people never find true happiness? And more importantly, how can you break free from this cycle? Let's dive into the reasons behind this struggle and explore actionable steps you can take to discover genuine and lasting happiness. The happiness trap. Misplaced priorities. One of the biggest reasons people fail to find happiness is that they search for it in the wrong places. Society often conditions us to believe that happiness comes from external achievements. Wealth, success, fame, and material possessions are held up as the ultimate goals. We work tirelessly, believing that once we reach a certain milestone, a higher salary, a bigger house, or a perfect relationship, we will finally be happy. But this approach rarely works. Research in psychology shows that the satisfaction derived from external achievements is fleeting. A concept known as the hedonic treadmill explains why. When we achieve something we desire, we feel a temporary boost in happiness. However, over time, we adapt to these new circumstances, and our happiness levels return to their baseline. This keeps us trapped in a cycle of constantly seeking more, but never feeling fulfilled. Moreover, the societal pressure to achieve external success often leads to burnout. People push themselves to their limits, sacrificing their health and personal relationships, only to discover that their accomplishments do not bring the lasting happiness they expected. This misalignment between societal expectations and personal fulfillment is a major reason why happiness remains out of reach for so many. The comparison game. Another major obstacle to happiness is the tendency to compare ourselves to others. Social media has amplified this problem, creating an endless stream of curated highlight reels from other people's lives. We see their vacations, achievements, and seemingly perfect relationships and measure them against our own lives. What we don't see is the full picture, the struggles, failures, and insecurities that everyone experiences. This comparison game leads to feelings of inadequacy and robs us of the ability to appreciate what we have. True happiness cannot thrive in a mind constantly focused on what others have. Psychologists have termed this phenomenon social comparison theory, which explains how comparing ourselves to others can negatively impact our self-esteem and overall well-being. The more we engage in upward comparisons, measuring ourselves against those we perceive as more successful, the more likely we are to feel inadequate and dissatisfied. Breaking free from this cycle requires a shift in focus from others to our own unique journey. The inner critic. Many people fail to find happiness because of their relationship with themselves. The inner critic, that voice in your head that constantly judges and berates you, can be a significant barrier to joy. When you're overly critical of yourself, you create a negative internal environment that makes it nearly impossible to feel happy. Instead of celebrating your achievements and progress, you focus on your perceived shortcomings. This self-imposed negativity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, keeping you stuck in a loop of unhappiness. To silence the inner critic, it's important to understand where this voice originates. Often it stems from childhood experiences or societal expectations that have conditioned us to strive for perfection. Recognizing that these critical thoughts are not inherently true is the first step toward breaking free from their grip. Replacing negative self-talk with affirmations and self-compassion can help create a healthier mental environment. The pursuit of perfection. Perfectionism is another happiness killer. The belief that you must always be perfect, that your work, relationships, and appearance must meet impossibly high standards, creates constant stress and dissatisfaction. Life is inherently imperfect, and the pursuit of perfection is a recipe for disappointment. Learning to embrace imperfection is a critical step toward genuine happiness. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination, as people fear starting or completing tasks that might not meet their high standards. This creates a cycle of stress and unproductivity, further diminishing happiness. Embracing the idea that done is better than perfect can liberate us from the chains of perfectionism and allow us to find joy in the process rather than the outcome.